All right, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this, and I'm looking at the book, and trying to figure out if this is what I want to do. The Greenbrier, I think it's a Dalton type, and I'm thinking this. I can make this easily from a triangular piece, and this is within the range of the sizes. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than those, but a little bit smaller than that one, or maybe the same size as that one. Anyway, I'm going to put little serrations on here. They're not complicated serrations, and I just need to maybe do some more thinning flakes. It's kind of thin to do thinning flakes, but I'll try it anyway. I can do one on this side for sure. Big old thinning flake, or maybe a couple. We shall see. Yeah, all right. Greenbrier. I don't think I've made one of those before. I've made plenty of Dalton points. But the Greenbrier's hafting area is very wide and short. Interesting combination. Yeah. Yeah, it's not something you'd want to use as a knife. Knives, you usually want to haft it pretty sturdily, if that's a word. Let's see. I'm going to do some thinning flakes into the base here. I just need to set it up a little bit better. I'll do it first because I would like the blade to be strong. If I start making it more narrow, it just weakens the blade slightly. And when I'm hitting the base, I don't want it to be weak at all. Yeah, in a perfect world, I would have thought of this sooner and then thin the base before the blade got this thin. I'm risking breaking it because it's so thin. Luckily, these don't need to be very long thinning flakes because the stem is so short on these. Yeah, makes it easy peasy, relatively speaking. And yeah, I looked. Greenbriers are found in Tennessee, and so is this material, as far as I know. So we're in business. All right, I'm just afraid to hit it. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. These don't have to be long flakes. That's what makes it good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got to be careful, even though it's relatively easy peasy. I have to be careful not to become too overconfident. I can take several attempts if I want to do this, because there's plenty of room to work with, and this preform is big enough to where I can lose some length if I mess it up. So we're still in good shape as far as risks go. That's loud. Yeah. It grinds down very easily. Yes, it does. That was not good. I could tell. It did not run a flake. That's not encouraging. No, it isn't. I'm not really getting a big thinning flake. Well, I lost my feel for the material already. It wasn't even that long. I wasn't in the house that long. Did that do it? I scooped it. Well, oh well. I'm just gonna go with it. If it scoops it, it scoops it. If it does whatever, it's gonna do whatever. If the base ends up being too concave, oh well. I lost the feel for the material. Lost the feel for the material. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I can do, perhaps, to clean that up. Yeah. It's all right. I probably could have done a better job with the pressure flaker. Yeah, but not all of these have thinning flakes that are large. It's just thinned. It doesn't have to be a large thinning flake, although the large thinning flakes look good. This is just for looks, what I'm doing here. I'm probably making the base way too deep. Well, I'm looking at the pictures and some of them are kind of deep. Yeah, I'm going to have to fiddle around with it to make it look right. Okay. Yeah, that cleaned that side up. This side doesn't look as clean. I can still run another flake. Yeah. I'm going to have to lose some length to make it look right. See, that was a good thinning flake. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do on the other side. But this other side might be cursed. It might not be able to be cleanly flaked. No. There's such thing as a cursed point? Yeah. If it just won't do what you want it to do, if it refuses, I'm not going to take a chance. I'm just going to shape it. I could try to run another flake up in there, but I'm not going to. Yeah, it's already very thin. Back in the day, if all you wanted was thinness, you wouldn't need to go any further. Is that still too deep? No, it's all right. According to me, it's just fine. Okay, so these, yeah, some of these ears are pointed. Yeah, this has to be trimmed carefully because it's going to be ground down. And when you grind it down, you don't want to lose too much of the edge. Yeah. Yeah, these can be rounded, pointed, but they're mostly rounded. They can be turned downward or they can be flared outward. There's no set way to do these except short. I gotta go inside. Let me do this right here. Yeah, I gotta go inside. I'll be right back. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Where was I? Yep, okay. Greenbrier's stem. All right, so I got the right width, maybe a little bit too wide. Yeah, that's okay. Let's see. If it is too wide, I'm going to take it down a little bit. Yeah, it might be a little too wide. I was thinking some of these are really wide, but they're not that. This is like the maximum width. Yeah, I've got a maximum width going on here, so I'm going to take it down some more. So what I'll do is, since I got to do the serrations, I'm going to do that first, and then I'll do the stem width to match the sides. Yeah, okay. Good plan. Yeah, it's always a good plan when there's no one to argue with me. Mm-hmm. All right. Get some better glasses on. I can barely see that. I should sharpen this, or at least clean it up so it doesn't have rock dust in the tip. Yeah, it grinds down really well, so I think it's a little bit too ground down. Yes. There it goes. I was just about to sharpen the tip of the pressure flaker. All right, so I'm going to regularize the edge a little bit up here. I don't think they're serrated all the way to the tip. No. I mean, they might have little bitty ones. Maybe that's just a jaggedy edge that I'm seeing. Yeah, pressure flakes very well. Okay. And symmetry is a little bit off on some of them, but I'm going to assume that they wanted a lot of symmetry. Or I'm going to assume that they put some importance on the symmetry. Although the ears are not symmetrical and the blades are not, well, some of them. Some of these have really sharp tips and some of them have rounded tips. Looks like the ones that have not been resharpened have rounded tips. The ones that are resharpened are pointy. So we're going to make believe this is a resharpened one. Yeah. And I don't think these are beveled, although they do have kind of a sequential resharpening flake pattern. Oops. That's not good. That's common on real artifacts, but I don't like doing it on videos. Dang it. All right. Let's try this again. This is correct. Yeah. These are high power glasses, but for some reason I can't see. Yeah. Okay, I see how this is going to go. Yeah, and I make a mistake, but I keep going. Sometimes if I keep flaking, it'll blast away the previous mistake, but it's not working on this material. That little tactic. It's got to be perfect the first time. I can't make up for it by being aggressive. No, it's not good. A little bit better. All right, same thing on the other side. Come on. Very pointy. Very pointy. Is it very good? No, not very good. Yeah, some of them are pointy, but when looking at originals, I try to average it out. Yeah, I know I already did that side, but I saw some persnicketies I couldn't resist. Come on. You're not supposed to eat the flaker for lunch here. What is going on? It's making me put the pressure flaker at all weird angles. Let's switch back to my other glasses. For some reason, I can't see out of those today. Yeah. Okay, regularize it. I regularize it a little bit. All right, now I'm just gonna punch in the serrations by hitting the other side. Okay, so let's see. First, I'm going to take away the dull spots. That way, I don't have to do two things at once. By two things at once, I mean I don't have to do the serrations and the sharpening at once. I just do the sharpening and then put in the serrations. Sometimes these sides dip in. Yeah, let's do that. Can't take no shortcuts. There we go. I was trying to flake it even though I didn't see a dull spot. Same with here. I'm kind of flaking without pushing on a dull spot, and I just get crushing. But it looks all right. So far, it's not too bad. There's a little bit of a mistake right there, but that's okay. All right, so it's sharp and kind of jaggedy. I just need to punch in the serrations. Yes, or I forgot this part. I didn't forget the part. I'm gonna have to work that down separately anyway. But just to delineate where it's going to be, let me just do that. Yeah, even it out. Now this is going to have to get more narrow anyway because it's too wide. So hold on. I shouldn't. I was going to say I shouldn't be doing this now, but it doesn't matter, I don't think. All right, so serrations. How big are they? Are regular? Do they start big and get small, or do they stay the same, or are they all small? Let's see. I see a variation. See, these are very close together. These are far apart. As far as the little jaggedy parts. These are little tiny serrations. This hardly has any. Yeah, I'll just put in what I think look like serrations. See, I'm just punching them in, so to speak. I don't know how else to explain it. When this is not a punch, this is a pressure flaker. But it feels like I'm just punching them in. Like a hole punch that punches holes in paper. You know what I'm saying? See if I can get out that little defect, or no. It's going in between. It's probably sharper if I do it only from one edge. But if it doesn't look like a serration, I got to deepen it. It's just for looks. How did they do it back in the day? I don't know. I'm not holding one. So I don't know. Can you see what I was doing? Maybe not. That would not be good. Okay, so now I got to work on the width. That's it for the edge. Easy peasy. So now I've just got to regularize this, make it more narrow, because the ears are too long on this one, and it's too wide. You might be saying, oh, that's kind of a waste, right? Just keep the width. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to stay within range. This is a lot like doing a point to spec when you need to make something for somebody and they want a certain size. There is kind of a lot of waste, but it goes with the territory. So I don't know if it's waste or just part of the game. If it's to be expected, is it waste or is waste unexpected? I think it can be both. But usually waste is looked down upon, like, oh, you wasted it. Instead of saying, yeah, waste is a percentage of the operation that you're performing, depending on the type of thing you're doing or the operation you're doing. Yeah. I look at it as part of the process. It's not necessarily by accident. Although waste by accident is bad and it is waste. If you're being careful, then waste is just bad luck. Yeah. Trying to see. Did they pressure flake with heavy pressure or light pressure? I think some of it's kind of heavy. So let me try. I do like doing reproductions because it kind of gets you into the mindset that they had. Just got to be careful not to create something that looks too realistic when I'm using natural tools, because someone could end up confusing it with some real artifacts and then it gets sold as a real one. You don't want that to happen. Some might say it's real if you use the tools from the past. Yeah, it's real. Okay, well, not everyone looks at it that way. It kind of confuses things. But who knows? It might not matter too much. If the archaeologists know what they're doing, they're not going to get confused, right? Yeah. Why worry about it? It's just the principle of the thing. You don't want them to be sold as real. Yeah. There we go. Yes. I gotta pick at this edge a little bit more before I grind it down. And then we're done. 20 minutes. Perfect. Why do I pick at it more before I grind it down? You just lose less to the grinding. It makes the grinding easier also. You lose less of the edge when you grind it. if it's already picked to death. Does picking to death remove a lot of the edge? Yeah, it does. But you can do it in kind of a controlled way. You know what I mean? If you're grinding it to reduce the edge, you're going to sometimes grind too much and it's going to look funny. But if you pick at it to adjust the edge, it doesn't look funny. At least in my view, that's what I think. Okay. Is this in line with how tall the stems are? Yeah. Not very tall. And then do they fit in a regular haft? They have to be wide. Yeah, it's going to have to be wide and short. Yeah. You think there might be knives? No. I got to make some more foreshafts. I keep saying that every week, and I don't do it. I got to make wider ones. See? Wide. Because some of these old points are really, really wide. Although, you know, they might have to like this on a not so wide foreshaft. And they just like having a lot of space and not deepening these side notches. You know, having a lot of space across the neck. If you narrow it, it makes it a little bit weaker. So maybe they did it on purpose. Kept it as wide as they could. I would have to up to about that depth. That way I can wrap over the top. Let's see if I can do this without dropping it. I'm afraid to drop it. I would wrap it. I would have to about that deep where the top of the wood is slightly above these little barbs here or the shoulders, and then come up over the top from the edge of that concavity up over the top a little bit, and then wrap it down. And you'll have to use a lot of glue because you don't want the sinew or the wrapping to have a space. It's something that fits in better. No, it's really thin. You don't want to have a lot of space between the wrapping when you're you don't want to have a lot of space between the wrapping and the stone when you're wrapping it. Okay, you want to fill that gap with glue on the sides here. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, it's a very nice. Once it gets hafted, it's very nice looking. Yeah. Right. But yeah, I need to make some more foreshafts. This is. Let's see. Yeah, not that deep for sure. All right, so there it is. I gotta grind it now. I think that's also why a lot of these are not that wide, because you don't want the foreshaft to be too wide. See, now I gotta pick on that. Hold on. Where is it? See, these edges that are ground down, they're usually pretty straight. Let's see if everything else is straight. There's no excuse for the edges that are ground down to be crooked. Yeah. Or jaggedy. There's no excuse. It should be pretty straight. And when you have a ground down area for the hafting, to me that says that they were hafted tightly with tight wrapping, which might indicate plant fiber wrapping instead of sinew, because sinew will tighten up as it dries. And yes, there are plant fibers that do tighten up as they dry as well, but it's not common. In fact, I don't know of any off the top of my head that grow around here. I think jute might tighten up as it dries. I don't know. But yeah, plant fibers usually don't tighten up as they dry, so you need to tighten when you're wrapping. And if it's really, really sharp, it's going to cut the wrapping as you tie it, if you want to tie it tightly. Can't be sharp, because then you go, dang it, cut the wrapping again. I can't tighten it. Yeah. You don't want that. All right, so it's really thin. Maybe too thin to match the originals. It's got serrations in it. Pretty straightforward. Just pop straight down and then flip it over and pop out the middle or in betweeners, so it looks serrated from both views. And there you go. There you go. You got it. It's the simplest way to put serrations in. Just one pass on each side. That's it. Not very complicated. And I just got to make sure that there's no dull spots, especially near the tip. Near the tip, as I receive information from subscribers and friends, they have told me that a lot of these older points that have fancy flaking, they might not be sharp down here on the blade, but they're sharp near the tip. Yeah, so that's useful to know. I'm trying to make these look right. And it makes sense to be sharp near the tip, of course. What you're trying to do is penetrate through hide and fur. Yeah, needs to be sharp, at least at the tip. Come on, step fracture city. I'm using the spatula tool to avoid the step fractures, but it's not working. What that indicates is that this stuff is a little bit crushy. Yeah. Or I'm just not doing it right. One of the two or both. Yeah, I'm not getting it sharp. I'm just dulling it. All right, so what to do in that case? All right, well, we're going to sharpen up the pointed one. See if we can improve the situation. Because that spatula tool, all it did was that dull the sides of the tip. Come on. It's very crushy. So instead of grabbing, the edge just crushes. How do you overcome that? You just got to keep doing it and get the feel for the material and figure out how dull the edge needs to be before it gets a good seat. You just got to feel the material. Get a feel for the material. All right. I'll get the feel for it here soon. I better, or I'm going to lose a lot of that tip. Again, the tip is a whole different mindset than the rest of the blade, and this might not be sharp enough yet. Okay. Yeah, that's what it needed, just a sharper tip. Come on. Sharper tip to make a sharper tip. A sharper tip on the tool was needed to make a sharper tip on the stone point. On the point of the stone point. Yeah. And a sharper tip on the flaking tool to make a sharper tip on the stone tool. I can't catch a break. Too delicate. I could have stopped a while ago, I know. It just drives me nuts if I don't like it. If I don't like it, I can't stand it. Yeah, I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny. Yeah. There comes a point where there's diminishing returns the more you pick at it. And I'm reaching it really fast. Yeah. See, these are very carefully done in the picture. In the photos, these tips are carefully done. Okay, and you can see that there's a little bit of snap off on these. So it tells me that they're very carefully tapered to a tip. But you're going to have these little dings. But yeah, see, they're very carefully done. Come on. So I want to make sure mine is carefully done. Okay? Yeah, serrated edges. There you go. Close enough. Right? Right. Okay. Now we can go inside. Right? I wish. I got a lot more to do. Doesn't mean that I do a lot. Sometimes I break a bunch of stuff late at night. But yeah. Which is the side A and side B? I don't know, but that's good enough. That's it.